Prison is stress. Everything about it. Living in a 6x9 concrete reinforced bunker.
It was chaotic. It was loud. There was no personal space.
Constantly worrying about, what's going to happen, what's going on with your family on the outside.
Freezing cold, bad food, attitudes of other inmates. Everything about it and stuff is bad and stressful.
Let's start with the fact that our justice system is a retributive justice system, and retributive means punishment.
Prison itself, being locked away from society, does not correct the man.
Most of the people who are in prison have come from a background of chronic interpersonal trauma. You don't wind up in prison because everything has gone well in your life.
The man who has arrived in prison is broken in many aspects.
And so we take broken people, put them into a broken situation, which breaks them even more, and then we release them back out.
Prisoners are leaving prison without having been exposed to skills of self-reflection, to really effective ways of looking at themselves and making a change.
There are over 70% of the people that are incarcerated are eventually returning to the community. How do you want them to return?
So they actually leave prison worse than they went in.
And that's the reason why we have about a 76% rearrest rate within the first 5 years.
Time and time again, I've realized this person who's in my class that I'm teaching is a human being, and he or she is not the person that they were when they committed the crime 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm dealing with a completely different person. And the practice that I'm bringing to them is serving them to transform themselves from the person who committed the crime to the person who they are right now in this moment.
It's one of those things that you don't notice until you take a step back and go, oh wow, that guy's totally different than when he first got in here.
Prison's not easy, and I think it shouldn't be easy, but you should be able to at least correct yourself and rehabilitate yourself, and this is a way that you can do it.
This program, to me, is the sole preparation for the outside.
We're forced to deal with people that we may butt heads with. It's really helped me to just calm down, think to myself, okay, this is something that I have to deal with, and I can either go the wrong way or I can go the right way and let it pass.
The awareness, people don't know about it. I felt if people knew about it more, that it would give people opportunities to overcome. It'd really change a lot, because now I share with someone. When I see someone stressing out, I say, hey, let's breathe. Let's do a namaste right now, and let's be aware of our surroundings and calm down for a second.
It is apparent to me by how quickly that these men are willing to go there and be vulnerable, not only with me, but with each other. Connect with each other, like encouraging each other, like, you're doing great, man. Like, that sort of thing happened so quickly.
Yeah, I leave here and it's not as peaceful as it is in here, and there's a lot of things going on in the yard, but when I come here and I find that sense, it just reassures me that there is peace within oneself, and I could go out there with all that drama and still be at peace if I practice and meditate on it,
There have been days when I walk out of a yoga class where I'm reaching for my car keys and trying to remember where I parked my car, okay, because I forget that I'm in prison.
We call each other the yogis inside of our unit. We totally have like a little crew.
We're like one team, like it's not even just each of us, it's one person, like when we're actually in here.
And I see the change in all of us because of it. We're way more patient, understanding. It's just, it's life-changing.
I noticed like a difference in myself after I've done the yoga. There's a complete difference in my mindset, and I feel like at ease.
Whenever I come in contact with a situation that could go negative, I totally regress back to yoga.
I was going through a stressful time with my daughter and the situation that I'm going through. I remembered the techniques that we use in here, like breathing in and out, and like just taking yourself to a different place, in your mind, and like it really helped me.
You know what I mean? It unites you.
I can't even explain how much it means to me. I'm a yoga girl now.
Hey, come on, Nate.
Hold on. I think what you see in some of the men here at San Quentin goes against what your own internal prejudice is, what the media has fed you, what you may have encountered historically about what people in prison are like or what they are about.
Doing yoga allows me to be self-aware, moment to moment, during my journey in prison.
It's allowed me to be more open with people, and I think that being less judgmental of others.
I feel every time I leave the yoga practice, I feel calm, I feel serene. I have it, a few hours after yoga, but then it's back to normal stress in San Quentin. And
no matter how I'm feeling when I'm coming in, whether it be mad, confused, happy, I always leave feeling more like I'm blessed, loving, kind, and more compassionate towards others.
I'm more conscious of my breath and when I'm triggered.
It's reconnecting me with my true self, with my authentic self, and I feel like I'm going back home to the real David, not the one that has to survive in a prison environment, but the real me.
I grew up during the course of the crack epidemic, really impacting a lot of the communities that I grew up in and a lot of communities of color. And so I've had, family members who have been incarcerated. So I know personally how that leaves holes in families. Clearly the system has, devastated the Black community. And so going in as a Black woman, I'm particularly concerned and also feel compelled that this is important work to do, and I'm really honored to be able to possibly affect some change in a positive way in the people who participate in the classes, to really kind of be there to advocate for the benefits of yoga for this population in particular, but then to also recognize that this can be a way that they can have their own kind of self-liberation, even though they're behind bars.
The idea with rehabilitative programs is to help inmates get introspective, look at their past, look at their experiences. So yoga really does provide that.
And what that practice did for me, it helped ground me into what's going on, and it ground me into appreciation and gratitude, something that I've been really regretful for many years in my life. And it wasn't until that practice that really brought me home.
There was a gentleman who was painting, and I found myself being judging and being overcritical, and I'm like, well, why am I doing this? And I was like, well, I gotta focus on his light. And yoga's actually helped me be more flexible, open up the way that I look at others.
I think that and I know that there are men who I deal with every day who are different than the men that they were when they arrived in prison.
Watching them every day, communicating with them and connecting with them, both on a professional level, on a personal level, and watching them really grow something has been so powerful, and I'm happy to be a part of that.
I don't know exactly, but I could imagine sitting in a cell for 24, 48 hours without the door opening is probably not a fun thing, especially when you put 2 or 3 guys in there. Their ability to use any of the meditative practices they've done here has really helped them kind of calm their tensions. So things that used to just kick off right away, now they're kind of, okay, well, we're a step or 2 away from that. It's been the single most turnaround 180 program in my mind that I've seen guys just go through, and it's like, whoa, that's pretty impressive that, there's a guy that's 50 years old, done over 10 years of state prison, committed to, a criminal lifestyle, and now he's worried about coming in here and he's taking positive ownership of what he's doing. And
Men that are more mindful, more aware, less angry, more physically fit, costs us less. The benefit for the inmates as well as for the institution, it's been very positive.
Incorporating yoga within correctional settings has a positive effect on both the individual participants as well as every other individual that is touched by that one person.
I just would wish that more people saw it as intensively as I get to see it every day. I know that there's just hey, yeah, we do yoga, and there's not a lot of guys that understand how in-depth it is and what it's actually achieving.
I can tell you that staff now are aware of the program. They've seen the results. Officers in the housing unit, they see the difference in the behavior of men who have been involved in the yoga.
I think what we have here and what you experience from the guys who are in the yoga program are guys who grow beyond what led them to prison.
You know, if there's any way to get that message out, I think that would be a lot easier for my coworkers to get behind and really be supportive of and seeing what it's really positively doing.
I think if everyone had a James Fox in their life, I think there'd be a lot less stressed out people, a lot less depressed people, and I go as far as to say a lot less violent people.